These are Cornell Notes, Lesson 2-6 for Course 2, and I am Mrs. McCowan. Today, in your notes, the topic is solving two-step equations. Please label your Cornell Notes paper. Okay, your first subtopic is solving two-step equations using division. So when we do a two-step equation, we're going to actually do two steps. So I'm going to write out to the side step 1 and then step 2. Please write this in your notes so that you know how to solve a two-step equation. So first, we're going to add or subtract. So looking at this, I'm going to look at what's in front of where my variable is, and my variable is 2n. I want to isolate the variable. So to isolate the variable and get it all by itself, I have to get rid of all the numbers around it. The first number I'm going to get rid of is the 5, because that would go under my step 1, add or subtract. Well, the plus 5 is an addition step, and I want to do the opposite, the inverse, to solve for n. So the inverse of addition would be subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So 5 minus 5 is 0. 13 minus 5 is 8. And then I bring down the 2n. Okay, that was my first step. Second step, I'm going to multiply or divide. Well, I see that this says 2 times n, so I'm going to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I'm going to divide by 2. That's correct. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my answer is n equals 4. For number 2, I have 19 equals negative 3p minus 8. So I'm going to do my steps again. Step 1 and step 2, since this is a two-step equation. So step 1, add or subtract. So looking at this, I have a minus 8 beside my p that I need to move to the other side. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So the first step I'm going to do is add 8. Add 8. Whatever I add to one side of the equation, I have to add to the other. It's an equation. That means they equal each other. So I need this to equal each other. So 8 minus 8 is 0. 19 plus 8 is 27. And then I just bring down my negative 3p. Step 2, I'm going to multiply or divide. Looking at my equation, I have negative 3 times p, so I need to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. So I'm going to divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So p equals 27 divided by negative 3, which is negative 9. Okay, for number 3, we're going to solve 8 plus m divided by 4 equals 17. So step 1, step 2, I have 2 steps because this is a 2-step equation. So my first step, I see that I have an 8 out here. Well, this 8, is it negative? No, it's positive. So we're going to act like this was a plus 8. So what's the opposite of adding 8? Subtracting 8. So I'm going to subtract 8 from this side, subtract 8 from this side. 17 minus 8 is 9. Bring down m divided by 4 equals 9. Now for my second step, I'm going to multiply or divide. Right here I have a division symbol. It said I divided by 4, so I'm going to do the opposite of dividing, which is multiplying. That's correct. So I'm going to multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. M equals 9 times 4, which is 36. Okay, now for number 4, we have 3 equals u divided by 6 minus 12. So for step 1, I see minus 12, so the opposite of a minus is plus, so we're going to add 12. Add 12. 3 plus 12 is 15. Bring down u divided by 6. So we're going to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So we're going to multiply times 6 to isolate our variable. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So I have 15 times 6, which is 90. That is correct. So u equals 90. Okay, on number 5, I want you to try it on your own. Write down and tell me what you did for step 1. Please pause the video. Okay, let's check our work. For step 1, you should have added 1 to both sides, so negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And 7 plus 1 is 8. So 2x equals 8. Now pause the video and try step 2. Okay, for step 2 you should have divided. Divided by 2, x equals 1, and 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Okay, number 6, I'd like you to try it on your own and do both steps this time. So write out step 1 and step 2 on your paper. 3n plus 8 equals 29. Please pause the video. Okay, let's check our work. You should have subtracted both sides by 8 and then divided by 3. So your answer was n equals 7. Great job. Now at the bottom of your Cornell notes, please write 3 sentences. So I learned to, I know how to, I reviewed how to. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask Mrs. McCowan in class.